Now this is going to have a 5-liter and not a 5.2, but what might it inherit from the GT500? DCT? Hey, what's up? Ken from Palm Beach Dyno here. I just got back from the 2020 GT500 track attack up in North Carolina, and while I was gone, Ford released some pretty interesting news. We've already seen some spy shots of this, but them, basically telling us for sure the Mach 1 is coming is pretty exciting. Now, what they didn't do was give us too much information in here, but let's read through it real quick. Now, the reason I'm making this video is I want to kind of give you guys my thoughts of what I think's coming with this, but we'll go over that in just a little bit. Anyway, obviously it's going to be a V8. Now, they give the history of the Mach 1 and all that, the original Mach 1. The part of this that I think is relevant to what I'm talking about is the last Mach 1 was during 2003-2004 model year. And for those of us that are familiar with that Mach 1, it's sort of an NA version of the Cobra, So take a Cobra motor and take the blower off, and it's a very close, car otherwise. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, later here in the text, it also says the 2021 Mustang Mach 1 is set to return as the most track-ready 5-liter Mustang ever. Okay, so now let's add all that together. What could be coming for the Mach 1? There's going to be something unique to it, I think. In the past, the shaker hood was a big part of it. Obviously not a real functional thing, but a looks thing. As we can see from here, the front end is very unique. What's possibly going to go there? I would think possibly some lights, but there's quite a bit of cooling. Now, these two could be for brake cooling. You got a nice little thing there. Maybe that's for transmission cooling. So now let's think about this. The 03-04 Mach 1 was an NA version of the supercharged Halo car at the time. Now, this is going to have a 5-liter and not a 5.2, but what might it inherit from the GT500? DCT? I don't know. A lot of people, as soon as I've talked to a lot of people about this off camera, and they don't really think that's going to happen. I think there's a good possibility because, think about it. They aren't using some exotic transmission in the GT500, a brand that may be expensive or hard to get. Tremec went out of their way to design a performance DCT transmission both for the GT500 and for the new Corvette. It's not exactly the same transmission, but it's similar. So think about it. Do you think Tremec is going to create a whole new factory for 5,000 GT500s and however many Corvettes they make? Probably not. They're in a volume type of scenario with their transmissions, I would think, especially in this case, working with OEMs. So they have to put it in a lot more vehicles. And my prediction is it's probably going to go in this, at least as an option. Think about it. The 5-liter engine, the baddest NA version they can make of that, throw a DCT behind it, and it will definitely be the most track capable 5.0 out there. I always, before we heard about the Mach 1, or I really considered this, I thought maybe we would see that in the GT350, but I think that would upset the GT350 crowd, and it would also take away the only stick shift left. So instead of taking the GT350 and turning it in to a 5.2-liter NA track car with a DCT. So that's my prediction for the Mach 1 based off the volume that Tremec is going to need to sell more transmissions with only 5,000 GT500s. We're certainly going to see it in another Ford, I would think, and this is great timing for that. Also the fact that Ford said this is going to be the most track-ready 5.0. We do have the PP1 and PP2 GT, which is a stick shift car, but I'm talking specialty cars here, specialty Mustangs. And lastly, the last Mach 1 was sort of the Halo car without the blower. Now, of course, the GT500 has the 5.2, and they're putting the 5-liter in this one. But otherwise, I think this is going to be sort of an NA version of the GT500. So let's see. How long will it take for us to figure out? Who really knows? Anyway, As more information comes out for the Mach 1, we'll be sure to update you. Now, last year, I did a big prediction video on the GT500 and what we might see by raising the rev limiter and all those sorts of things. In our next video like this, I'm going to go over all the dyno graphs of our personal GT500, every modification along the way, and also compare it to the video from last year where I made some predictions and see if I was right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.